Yeah, we're on. Let me know if you see anybody. Pop in. I don't know why.
I don't even know where you see that at.
It would
should be
normally,
a chat.
yeah, top left is normally where you'd see it. Pop in.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't even know. What were you saying?
Are y'all getting any echo?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was wondering how that works. But usually it takes a few minutes. Like that's the cool thing with having other people in the chat. Like, because when you're online by yourself and like no one's here, there's 3. Hey guys,
I've been in my own premieres before. What's up, guys?
Yeah,
How's it going?
we're gonna give a few minutes for some people to come in, and then we'll get started. Yeah, if you're here, if you want to drop a comment in the chat. Hey, Nana Tink, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Nana. Nana's videos crack me up. She had this one video where she's going through all this glass. She's like, I don't know anything about history. And then she's like, I'm going to tell you like 10 minutes worth of glass history. I don't know anything about science. But then I'm going to tell you how they infuse uranium into this glass to make it glow.
Hey, Patty, how are you?
How do you have to do the chat through YouTube then, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have it up on your YouTube or no?
Yeah. Well, now I do. Or no, I have it through StreamYard.
Sean, what's going on, buddy? Willie's real name is Sean, guys. Well, I guess Willie's his real name too, but he actually lives near me. Well, no one lives near me, but he lives like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Me.
Yeah. So one of those things. Guys, well, 6 people in so far. I've actually got to open my YouTube real quick. Just to...
What's up, Junk Girl Patty?
Yeah, I'm not figuring it out. How to open YouTube through it.
You can't do it through it. You got to put it in the tab.
Yeah, it's got to be a separate window. Just make sure it's muted.
Yeah, I'm just trying because of the monetization.
Uh-oh. The glass man is here.
There you go.
What's up, Tim?
Oh, Tim's in.
Yeah, man, the StreamYard's a different thing, man, for sure. It takes a little bit to get it all straightened out. Like every other thing, some technology.
So what were you saying? I need to mute it on YouTube?
Mute YouTube, yeah, so it don't echo back.
That's what I did.
Yeah, should be good.
But then it's like it's a little slower on there compared to my StreamYard.
Yeah, it's crazy with the delay.
What a newbie.
It's all good. I appreciate everybody bearing with us. Just kind of iron out.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in there too.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And girls.
Sound's coming in good. That's great to hear, Sean. Well, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and get started, and then I'm sure there'll be people popping in and out as we go. But just wanted to do some introductions. Obviously I'm Eric, the Obx Picker, and you're here on my channel at this point. But I don't know how many of you guys have watched me before, but I was pretty much part-time picking until all this stuff went down, and now I'm full-time like a lot of people at this point. So I've been doing this for a little while, since September, and pretty much pick a little bit of everything. So I'm glad and thankful for you guys to be here watching and hanging out with us. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll answer. So, Sam, I guess if you want to go, bro.
Hi, Nana team.
So my name is Sam. I go by Dapper Tiger under my YouTube and my social media. And basically I've started like for real part-time reselling basically end of January. We were starting to like build up our business, and we were starting to bottleneck a little bit. And we were also clearing some space, my wife and I, for a baby. And then we started getting to reselling a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then I stumbled upon YouTube, and I kind of fell into the rabbit hole. And just so happens that I live across the street from a Goodwill. And after flipping a few pairs of shoes and hats, I was hooked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You want me to go ahead now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm Jacob. My channel is Midwest Bargains. I, too, am a part-time reseller. I have been doing it since I was 16. I'm now almost 25. I really fell into it because my dad does it. And I always thought what he did was really cool. Finds a lot of neat treasures to flip. Sam and I are from Illinois.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I put that in. Yeah, we got North Carolina up in the house right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh, there's South Carolina popping in.
Oh yeah, yeah, South Carolina, Carolina, across the board. But
I call it the war of the barbecue sauces.
yeah, right. Competing barbecue sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we live, it's like Eastern North Carolina is known for like vinegar-based barbecue sauce, and so South Carolina is a little different when it comes to that. But yeah. So Sean shared that he's a part-time reseller, just started late November, so he's a newbie like a lot of us. And let's see, Art Vanderlei in the house. What's going on? You guys got any other questions for us? I'm looking to see. Well, guys, I'll go ahead and share just another thing for me. I know a lot of people always say, hey, like, what platforms do you sell on? I pretty much sell on eBay, like probably 99% of my stuff. Facebook Marketplace some. I did have an antique booth until yesterday because my antique shop had that I had my stuff in actually closed. They were having issues with the landlord, and so I had to pick all my stuff up yesterday. So a lot of the progress I've made on my death pile just got expanded a little bit.
Yeah.
It's picked up a bunch of stuff that I didn't have listed. And some of the things in there, honestly, I ended up just taking. I do have one thrift shop here locally that's still open. They're not technically taking donations, but they know me pretty well. It's like a Christian rehab facility for drug addiction. So I dropped some stuff off to those boys. I said, look, I'll make sure I spray it down before I put it in there. But it's not anything I can sell on eBay. It's just too big. So
that's what I was going to ask, if you had bigger stuff on. And then
it's a little hard to flip a big antique sewing machine. And I was like, man, as much free stuff as they've hooked me up with over the past year or two, just between personal stuff and now with flipping, they kind of look out for me because there's certain things that they do not sell in there. So they've hooked me up. So I was like, here, guys, there you are. Y'all just go on and take this. Maybe you can make a little something off of it. So
what are you going to do with some of the heavier stuff? What platform are you going to try and sell those at? Like the antique stuff?
Man. I basically unloaded that stuff for the most part. I unloaded it there. Like I just
Oh,
I donated about 3 or 4 things today. I had some cabinets that the lady that had the store, she ended up I basically sold them to her. And other than that, I've got an antique desk that I brought home. But in that shop, what I did is I went around to all the shops there locally and seen what they were selling. So for me, I tend to gravitate towards things I know, like things I grew up with in my own childhood, like retro video game systems and things that like G.I. Joes and stuff that I played with as a kid. I have a lot of that kind of stuff. And then I'll flip anything, but pretty much. I mean, there are some things that I won't do, but I'm not quite as brash as some other people. Like I had a guy ask me the other day if I wanted some vintage magazines, and I was like, nah, I think I want to bring them to my house and put them online. So anyway, that's what we. So that's not something that I'm into, but the rest of it I'll flip. So that's what I got going on.
Sweet.
I mean, I primarily sell on. I'm probably the one who sells a lot on Mercari. I mean, I list on eBay, but I don't know. My store does really well on Mercari, and I don't know. Even from the get go, I'm a cheapskate. I'm like I could pay 10% fees or 13% in fees. And what's appealing to me, like we were chatting today in a group chat on Instagram, and Jacob's telling us how he's got a tie that's hung up on pavement. He's like waiting for this person to pay him. Like Mercari, like you either pay or you don't. And then like
nice.
Even if they have a return, like they got 3 days to return it. If they don't return it, it's my money. And sorry. And if they leave me a review, like they can't come back and leave me a negative review or do anything about that or do anything like that. So I feel like it protects the seller more. I don't know, than eBay does at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, eBay is all about the buyer. All about the buyer.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, I might have to check out Mercari. You sound like you have all good to say about it. I think I listed a golf club on there one time, kind of high. Didn't have any luck, but I primarily sell on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Have the best luck on there. And then Tim, over the years, eBay, he showed me all about Grailed, and I've had really good luck listing hats on there. Sold within like a few hours. Vintage men's hats.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Tim, I see that you'd asked about listing on eBay with local pickup only. The problem I run into is outside of tourism, where I live on the Outer Banks. Man, we just don't have a lot of. I have listed some things honestly for a buddy of mine. He had some auto stuff, like some body parts and stuff, and I've listed that local pickup because it's like doors and stuff, like off of F-350s, things like that. But like we're not. It's a unique place. Like if I live closer to a city or something like that, where there's a lot more eyes on it, I probably would. But like I haven't had any luck with that myself. Even with his parts, I haven't sold any of that stuff. I was like, I don't know if the guy thinks I don't really list it or what. I actually sent him a link. I was like, look, it is on eBay. It's been on there since October, and we haven't even got a sniff of anything. So because it's only local pickup or arrange for shipping is what we did. So mostly, honestly, I avoid big stuff at all possible for the most part. All right.
I tried local pickup on eBay, but never had any luck. A guy was like, I'm from 3,000 miles away. Can you meet halfway? And that was like a $50 item. I was just like, no, thanks. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a buddy who've had luck flipping cars with like local pickup, but like my folks live in a touristy place. Like I'm from Cape Cod, so it's the same thing. And there's just like so many eyeballs off the Cape. So when I was helping my parents like liquidate their stuff, I sold almost everything off of Facebook Marketplace. It just has more eyeballs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've had golf clubs get up to 1,000 views off of Facebook.
Right.
And I mean, I barely even posted them to many groups.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on what it is for sure. I actually have sold on Let Go. I sold my daughter's entire LuLaRoe leftover inventory on Let Go, and it was from somebody from out of town that had just drove in. I do post a little bit of stuff on Let Go, but honestly, I just don't have storage for big stuff. So for me, I mean, I've got close to 700 items, and I've got that kind of jammed in 2 bedrooms of my house right now because my kids are out, like for the most part. So I couldn't imagine if I pulled a bunch of that big stuff in. So.
You know what? I also like Facebook Marketplace for like flipping the switches. I would have made like maybe $10, $20 profit after fronting like almost $300, you know, just losing it all to fees and shipping.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, quick flips too. Like if it's something you know that's going to go down. Like I did flip a Coleman stove the other day. It's crazy, man. I picked it up on Facebook Marketplace for $10, and I turned around and flipped it for $35. Like literally 2 days later, because I was like, man, I got you punk. But it is one of those things. Man, South Carolina Treasure, that's awesome, dude. 7,000. Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's good, bro. Let's see.
Yeah, I really like getting on Marketplace for quick flips.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had something you have little money into, and then I don't know, ask $20 to $50 for it, get rid of it, and then be done with it, you know?
Yeah. Just saw Steve O's comment. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Sam, maybe you can touch on this right here. Art Vandelay's question about Macari.
I really wouldn't worry about it too much. Because they're just trying to get you to get some action in the store. My rule of thumb is, unless it's like I'm really trying to get rid of it, I will list it and I'll let it ferment for like 3 days, and then I'll start promoting it. You know, and strategically, like for Macari, I just try and price things higher, because when you promote to everybody, here's the downside: it automatically knocks 5% off. There's no 1, 2. You're down to 5%, and then if you offer to the people who like it, it's a 10% off. So, and when people bid on your stuff, Mercari already has like, offer them 10% less, 15, 20% less. So I'm not afraid to counter in those situations, because I know they just got an auto-generated like value that Mercari gave them, unless they like totally lowballed me. Like somebody offered me like $150 for the Switch. I'm like, good luck. You know, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
What do you want? Just the box? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Box only, sure.
Well, like, I had somebody who was like, well, it's only like $270 when you buy it at Walmart. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not Walmart. Like,
oh man.
Steve was saying that shipping 3 pounds for $10. That's
the cheap. Other thing. I saw a 5-pound puzzle, $10. Like, I don't know why. Like at 5 pounds, it hovers at 10. I shipped a sewing machine, cool. $10.
I bet you guys too benefit. Like that's one great thing about being Midwest, because you're a little closer to everything. Like,
yeah.
For me, I'm extreme East Coast, so if I get California, I'm screwed. Like it's one of those things. That's why I'm very careful about what I put on free shipping. I've got to have some money in it. It's got to go first class, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't like putting anything free shipping unless it's first class, Eric.
Yeah. I mean, I've done some other things just to be competitive, but I kind of shy away from it for the most part.
Sorry, Sam.
No, I mean that's I basically was going to say what you were going to say. So,
yeah.
I personally haven't, Sean. I hadn't picked anything off of Goodwill online. I've heard a lot of resellers talk about it recently. I know Kat at Nurse Flipper has been talking about that for a little while, but I haven't. I don't know about these guys.
I mean, I looked into it and I started looking for video games, and honestly, right now, with the haul that I just got with the 60 Legos, like I'm gonna be busy for a little while listing and worrying about that stuff. But I know folks, they do well. You just got to fish through it. You know, the nice thing is, like, there's so much crap on there right now that it's like hard for a lot of people can compete against you, unless it's like, you know, a lot of Wii's or something like that, and everybody knows it. But I'm sure, like, obscure stuff, like really niche stuff, like if you wanted a serger, which is a specific type of sewing machine, and that can fetch you like $200, $300, $400 depending on the type, the brand, the accessories that come with it. And I guarantee you guys aren't like typically looking for a serger or something like that, but a grandma or somebody who's doing like right now, everybody's sewing masks. Like, sewing machines are gone and out the door. Like, if you have any, you should list them and sell them.
Yeah. I said, I don't have much. Like, it looks like a South Carolina treasure that he has, but it's been a little while. Honestly, the other side of that coin for me is maybe I'm kind of spoiled, but dude, I hate paying up for stuff. I really do. Like, I don't want to set on things too long, and if I do, I don't want to have a lot into it. So it's one of the things. If I was going to pick something up like that, it would need to be a quick flip. It'd need to be something that I'm like, because I check their pricing. Like, the things that I'm into selling is, you know, video game stuff, like that kind of thing. You're not going to find it on there decent. Like, you really got to get a steal, or you got to get scratch stuff that you got to resurface. Like, it's really, that's what I'm seeing.
Unless you're like Jacob, who gets like free stuff for no reason. Yeah, pick up
Game Boy Advance.
I still can't believe that lady had the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy, the first like Nintendo DS, PS3, ton of games. And then the guy that beat both of me and another lady there to pick up the stuff, he got 4 Game Boys before we even got there. It's crazy. Nice lady for giving all that stuff away. I can't believe it.
Was he still there when you got there?
Yes, and there was literally another lady pulling in front of me to the house, like beat me by seconds. And we thought this guy got it all, and he's like, "Man, there's a ton of Game Boys. Here you go." He gave the one to the lady in front of him. He's like, and she's all thankful. I'm like, "Man, that's super nice of you. You have a good day." Then he's like, "Dude, there were so many here." He gave me the DS. And so I'm like, "Wow, dude, you're amazing. That's so nice of you." And then we're leaving, and the lady's like flagging us down from her porch. She's like, "Come on, there's more stuff." I'm like, "Whoa." So we go up there, and that's where she had like one more Game Boy, a bunch of games, PS2 games. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
And that's awesome. You sold on Facebook Marketplace. We were just talking about video games the other day with her. Like, she had messaged me. We were talking about it. And I was like, you better list them. Now's the time. They'll go. For sure. So what is one thing that you always grab at Goodwill? When are you guys going to take that?
Shoes. Shoes. Everybody needs shoes.
Yeah. I look, my main things I look for, I'm not too well diverse, but I look for like really nice shirts. And then I really don't have a whole lot of luck at our Goodwill, but I look for golf clubs, shirts, hats, and I do look at the shoes, but I'm telling you, I really don't have much luck. They're pretty torn up shoes, and they want like $5-10 for them.
Yeah, our Goodwill's in a good location. I'm pretty fortunate, man. Out where I'm at, there's about 9 thrift stores, probably within like 35-40 minutes of each other. 3 of them are the ones I really like. It's actually Hotline Thrift. They do like basically like they fund a shelter like for battered women, like that kind of stuff is what they deal with. But man, their thrift stores they're phenomenal. Like the pricing's good. They run sales all the time. Our Goodwill does not run any sales, and the prices are a
Yes,
little
same
higher.
here.
And then, but the other thing though, because it being in a good area, they actually get good clothes. I just don't do a lot with clothes, but I will tell you, I don't know how much you guys have watched my channel. I know some of the guys on here have, but there's a video I have with those Kobe's. So I rolled in Goodwill one day and got those Kobe's for $4.95. And I was like, yeah, so they flipped pretty quick. And that was around the same time, of Kobe's departure. So
wow.
That was those Kobe 9s, wasn't it?
Yeah, the green one.
That green one.
Yeah. Like if you go back and watch the video, man, I could not believe it. What made it even crazier is because I know a few pickers. Like we actually, because of having so many thrift stores and where we're at, we get people from Virginia that drive down like for the weekend, and they'll pick and thrift down here. And then there's a guy. He lives maybe 5 minutes from that Goodwill. He's in there every day, and he's a shoe guy. Like that's what he does. So I literally had went there on Friday and Friday afternoon, and it was Saturday morning, and I was going to an estate sale. I drove up there past the Goodwill, and they had closed the estate sale. Something had happened, like they weren't open. And so we were driving home, and I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I'm not going to stop at Goodwill. I was just in there yesterday afternoon. They probably don't have anything. And we decided to stop anyway. I pulled in there. Thank goodness, man, because I walking down the aisle, I see there's green things shining down there. I was like, what is that? How did that get by him and not end up in the glass case? But, yeah, I just – honestly, I just look for – home runs at Goodwill for the most part, though.
When those Kobe's first came out, and I was big into shoes, those Kobe 9s,
yeah.
I bought them off a guy for like 50. Said he didn't like them, flipped them for 280. Crazy.
Jeez. Yeah, I thought mine would bring more. I put them on auction, and I think I ended up selling for like 120, something like that.
That's still sweet for $5.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'll take it. If I could turn 5 into 120 every day, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And I think that's what's nice about thrifting is like, you get the bread and butter stuff, but like the occasional home runs kind of like give you enough of dopamine dump to keep going and treasure hunting and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. The other good flip I've got from there, and actually, man, this is a bolo for you guys too. If you ever see The Avengers, the is from BBC. It's an old television series from the 60s, early 70s. Dude, the box sets on those things are ridiculous. Like I literally sold one box set for $140. Like
that's wild.
Wow.
If you see that stuff out there, that came out of Goodwill. They were $149 a box, and I had like 8 of them. I've actually got one left, 1977 edition. It's like $40. So, and that's used. That's not new. So if you see The Avengers anywhere, pick it up.
Is it a VHS or a DVD box set?
DVD.
DVDs are funny, man. Like even like 102 Dalmatians DVD, for whatever reason, you can get like $40-$50 for it.
That's my favorite movie now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Some of that stuff is wild. John, that's awesome, man. 2 puzzles. One went to Maryland for 6. Other shipped to California for 13. I've been selling puzzles like crazy, man. I listed like 5 the other day and sold 3. I mean, they're not a lot of money into them, but I ain't got no money in them anyway. My dad's a puzzle guy, so I get them for free.
That's awesome.
I listed some for my cousin's girlfriend because she's got tons of puzzles. I was like, hey, puzzles are hot if you're wanting to sell any of your puzzles right now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Right before we got on here live, I listed like 4 of them for her.
Patrick, good to have you, bro. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat, guys. So like I'm just scroll through. Nana's got one.
Oh, what's up, Patrick?
You haven't sold one. 500 pieces. Yeah, most of mine are 1,000.
Yeah, I commented to Nana about that. Like, even all the puzzles that I have right now are 1,500 pieces, and so like I've so far been able to ask anywhere from like $30 to $50 plus shipping. Like I just sold one for like $30, and the buyer paid for shipping. But like the 2,000 pieces are asking for like 60, 70. This is Macari, and I'm like specifically talking about Disney puzzles. But like I've seen some of the 500 pieces. Maybe you'll have better luck lotting them up and making it more worthwhile. But I don't know how heavy it'll be and what that'll mean in shipping for you.
Dude, I found a puzzle that was it's one of the 3D puzzles, but it's actually Mecha, and so I sold that thing to somebody in Japan for $100. It's crazy.
That's wild.
It's like, man, I no clue. Most of the writing was in Arabic, so I didn't really know what I had until I got home. But it was sealed. I got it from Salvation Army, like. So Nana asked about, what do you guys think about dumpster diving?
Fun. Ask Sam.
I love it. I mean, as it's fun. Like I'm first generation Chinese American. Like when my grandma came over here, like, you know, she's old and she doesn't speak English. She used to like dumpster dive and pick like soda cans up. Like I got teased for it because I was poor as a kid, but like now, like whatever. I just went, I found like $200 worth of books. I found a Patagonia shirt, a brand new Carhartt high visibility tee, like all sorts of stuff. Like we flipped 3 different chairs from there now, or 1 chair from there now. And like we have 2 others that we pulled out, like brand new office chairs, $50-$60 I've listed them for on Facebook Marketplace. So it's good if you know which ones to look at. And in Illinois, it's good for Jacob and anybody else in Illinois to know it is legal to do. And there are certain places, certain towns like Aurora by us, you can get a permit, $50 a year, that will allow you to go dumpster dive. So as a content creator, dumpster diving videos are hot. It's like my best video. It's really
That's
weird.
True.
Yeah.
I did it last 2 weekends ago. I'm planning on uploading a video. I don't think I got too much dumpster footage, unfortunately, but I helped my uncle. He had a media business and he was just selling everything. So he was throwing away some blank media. I snatched that up. He threw some stuff in the dumpster that I was like, man, Uncle Kevin, I'm diving in there and grabbing that. I'll sell that on eBay. He's like, sure, go ahead. It was cool that, I don't know. The dumpster was empty when he got it there, so that especially, I didn't have no problem jumping in, diving in. Oh, I
got so where we're at, man, most of the box stores have compactors, and like the rest of them I do check out. Like usually I roll it through at night because like our place is closed. It's unfortunate. Like we have a Tuesday morning. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's kind of like a discount retail store, but they do like I don't know, you know, it's kind of like TJ Maxx, but without clothing. But it has all the oddball stuff in there. And like basically they've bought it from another retailer and it's at a reduced cost. But I used to get all my foam and bubble wrap from there. They literally have a whole dumpster that's nothing but foam and bubble wrap.
Sweet.
Yeah. Like I would go by there all the time. So after the everything closed down, I kind of had to go back to buying all that stuff. But I was like, man, shipping supplies like crazy. I was like, and it's clean. It's not like there's food and stuff dumped in there. But I have found some other things. I was at a estate sale and there was like, you know, people were throwing stuff in the dumpster. And dude, I'm out there in the dumpster going, why are you throwing that out? Like this is like, I'll sell that. So I flipped a few things out of it. And I found a bag one time behind Staples, but I didn't really, like, I don't do it all the time. Mostly I'm just looking for a specific box or like, you know, foam or bubble wrap, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do a little bit of it. I'm not against it. That's for sure. Like, it's one of those things. Let's see. Anybody else got in? And you made it. Alan Homesteader is my buddy who lives out here on the Outer Banks. If you guys run into him. His channel is not about it's not about reselling yet. He's probably working on it. But that
Right
is
on.
all about beekeeping and farming and all kinds of stuff. Life on the Outer Banks. Let's see.
It's my cat. I'm sorry about that. We rescued a cat like the other day, and it's been snowing, and I haven't been able to get to the shelter. So it's been acclimating, and it just saw one of our other cats like through the door, and so it's like low key panicking. That's all right.
Gotcha. John, that's a good deal, man. Facebook Marketplace.
That's awesome.
Everybody out our way has got the video game price so high, man. It's ridiculous. Like they're pretty higher than eBay, most of them.
Yeah.
On the systems. Let's see. Back.
Yeah, Nana. Like my theory, Nana, in like a couple weeks, especially if like things don't get open, like stores like Ulta, like makeup stores, where things like expire, but they're like perfectly good like makeup palettes and reusable things. The date is just expired. I bet they're gonna be throwing out a lot of really nice stuff. I mean, and that's what my wife tells me. You know, a lot of folks who do dumpster dive, they'll go to Ulta and they flip makeup for some ridiculous money. And all they have to do is just like take an alcohol wipe and clean it up a little bit, and you're Gucci. So,
yeah, our Ulta, I actually have dumpster dive there. I will tell you what's funny. You can tell which one's Ulta's dumpster because it smells the nicest of all of them.
You sound like a professional.
You're like, wow, you know, like the perfume aisle at the mall. But they soup their stuff. Like if you watch much dumpster diver people, they talk about Ulta soup. And so what they do is they pour everything out in the bag. Like they take foundation and they slice open the lotion, like all kinds of crazy stuff at my local place. They don't do that everywhere, but I honestly, man, I've dug through bags of that stuff and never find anything like that I could really do anything with. I only found one time I found some lotion, but the top of the seal was busted. When I got home, I saw a crack in it. So I was like, man, it stinks because I know exactly what you're saying. I've watched other people do it. And actually there's a lady who I ran into like maybe 30, 45 minutes from here. And I was telling her what I did. And she says, I'm glad that you're somebody I can talk to about this. She goes, have you ever dumpster dive? And like, if you looked at this lady, you would think there is no way that this lady is getting in a dumpster. She's like, no, I love it. I was like, okay, gotcha.
My uncle is a professional dumpster diver. I mean, but yeah, I mean, he's just a different guy, and I'm just trying to be nice, you know, but like,
he's being
we'll get in anybody's dumpster, like immediately after they've thrown something away, they will watch him. They'll be like, oh yeah, I know your uncle. I've seen him in the dumpster the other day. I'm like, that's awesome. But I've had a person tell me they watched him dig through his trash, take a Mountain Dew can, expired, but it was unopened, crack it open and start drinking it. I'm like, that's too much. I don't know. That's pretty, but that's like through their trash, you know, not an actual dumpster. He's funny like that. He's a great guy though. He's very giving.
I think you should slap a camera on him, and he could be like the new Taco Stacks.
I would love to slap a camera on him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man.
I mean, his thing is he's like a money hoarder, which it doesn't sound like a bad thing, but he's so frugal, like eats oatmeals for several meals a day. It's just crazy.
So do you think he's like a secret millionaire?
Oh,
like he's in the floorboard?
Yes, he definitely is.
That's crazy.
He's got people come and knock on. He had a piece of paper taped to his door that said, "No loans here." I'm serious. People asking him for money because they know he is so frugal and has saved up his money for so long.
Yo, that's some Bilbo Baggins problems there.
Yeah.
Dude, Thrifty, man, that's awesome, dude. 330 games for $500.
That's what's up.
That'll keep you busy
Yeah.
on the listing front. That's for sure.
That will keep him busy.
Yeah, on the hunt every day. Yesterday got 8 PC games still in the box for $10. That's awesome. Slater, the Postal what's that? Slater, the Postal
Putty cat.
Oh. Yeah, Putty Cat. That's on their Instagram. They post their cat. I like it. I like them.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
It's kind of sick. Like after we rescued the cat, like the second thing out of my mouth, I look at my wife. It's like, you want to help her start an Instagram? Because she's like one of those talking cats. Like she'll eat, she's like yum 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 yum. I'm like, shut the hell up.
That's crazy.
So
What
loud.
Dude, my wife watched. What's the cat guy that has like the guitar case and the earrings and all that? That's on TV.
Yeah, he's like the cat whisperer.
Yeah. I watched that guy. He went to the guy who has the world famous YouTube cats. They have like one of the biggest channels on YouTube for animals is those guys with those cats.
Was it Carol
I can't think of the name of them. There's 2 cats. Like she watches. My wife's a cat fan, but we had one, but we got rid of it. It was a freak. I think like it's weird.
I don't know where my cat went. He probably taking his 12th nap of the day.
Island Homesteader calling me out on scooping the Facebook deals around here.
Hey,
He's pretty quick on the draw, though. He's got some pretty sweet finds ahead of me. He caught me napping.
Can you guys can you happen to remember what your first flip was?
Ooh. My first flip was actually how I got into selling on eBay, really on the legit, is my daughter had all this LuLaRoe stuff. She was doing the LuLaRoe. She's 24, my oldest. And so she bought all that LuLaRoe inventory, and then they started going a little flat, and then she weren't interested in it. So we literally had a closet of our house slammed full of that stuff. And I was like, we got to get rid of it. And so I was like, man, I'm going to try to sell it online. So I sold LuLaRoe, like a couple things of it. That was my first flip. And then my first big flip was after, if you go back and watch my very first video, which I'll just go ahead and tell you, the content is terrible as far as the camera quality, the whole bit of it. But it says Marvel Haul on it. I went to a yard sale and found, these Marvel action figures. And the guy he didn't know what he had or he didn't care, but he ended up getting like 6 boxes and bins of action figures for like $45. So that set the hook. My first one I sold out of there was like $100, and then I was done. I was like, let's flip.
And you're hooked.
What about you guys?
College books, honestly. Because like they're expensive, and I would just flip them. And between that and video games, like when Amazon first came out, they were really good to flip college books, and because like my local bookstore was probably giving me minimal returns, I just like figured it out, and like it was easy enough that we had a post office on campus, so all the shipping materials are free. I just had to bring the book there, and they took care of it. So.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. The first thing I can remember flipping was, this doesn't sound crazy, but Mountain Dew and Doritos did that thing. This would have been like 2012 probably, where they had double the experience points for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I think they had that in the cap of the Mountain Dew. There's a little code underneath the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was mad because I almost got him kicked off of eBay for doing it. But I sold 3 Mountain Dew caps that you could go and buy for like $1.50. I sold 3 of the caps for $9. and I mean those were they were free because I mean my dad and I drank Mountain Dew then.
That's funny.
But then I got the idea. I'm like, oh, my school's recycling has to have a lot of these caps. So the like recycling team knew I sold each Mountain Dew cap for $3 a piece, and they gave them all to me. I threw them up on eBay. I just wanted the quickest possible, and I sold like I think it was like 40 caps for $150 or something. Just so people wanted that double experience in Call of Duty or something. I didn't even like the game that much.
That's crazy.
But that was like the first thing I can remember flipping. And my dad got a second strike on eBay. He was like, you better not get me kicked off of eBay. So then I tried some weird app, like I can't even remember the name. I want to say started with a B.
Bonanza.
Yeah. And I sold a few, but it didn't get near the traffic eBay did.
Yeah.
And then Mountain Dew and Doritos quit running that promotion, but that was sweet. Yeah. I think I made like $200 doing that.
That's funny.
And I was only like 16, so that was like I thought I was a millionaire then.
Yeah, imagine. Sure. Dude, Trishy, we talked a little bit about this earlier, I think, before you quite got in. For me, I don't really do it. Probably my number 2 would probably be Facebook Marketplace if I sell anything else. I don't. You guys can answer on your end.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm Mercari and Facebook Marketplace, and a little bit of Grailed. So, here's a fun one for you guys. Like, is there like a platform you want to get into? Like Etsy, something I'm curious about.
Yeah, Tim has good luck on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
I've considered it. I really don't know much about what is it, Pyrex? I really don't know much about that. My dad kind of does, so that's a helpful resource for me. But yeah, I always thought Etsy because they like only do vintage items, right?
Yeah, I was always under the impression it was like handmade goods. And then it wasn't until recently that I realized it was antique items as well. So, and I have some antique cameras that have just been sitting around.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got you. Like for me, man, I've tried a little bit of everything. I got kicked off of Amazon in 2 weeks for selling unauthorized product because I watched YouTube and so there's guys flipping stuff out of retail stores. And so I put a couple things on there. I actually listed like 5 things. 3 of them got flagged for inauthentic. I've been off of there since October. So I cannot get back on. Like I've tried. I even paid a dude to try to get me back on, and he wouldn't. So like I actually today, after talking with Sam and Jacob last night today I went into my Dollar General here locally, and they've got a whole aisle of stuff they've discounted. So I actually picked up about 8 Lego sets. So I think I may put them on Mercari because they got the Lego deal going like we talked about yesterday. So I might try that out again. I've listed a couple things on Mercari in the past and didn't really have much success, but they weren't like in-demand items. They were just like stuff. So I put them down.
I will warn you guys again. Like, do not try and sell food on Mercari. You will get put into like Mercari prison. That happened to me for like a week. I tried to sell some Pickle Rick Pringles, and I didn't know you couldn't sell food items there.
Oh,
so I got a message right away, and then like for a week, like nothing, no likes, nothing like nothing was happening until like I really started listing heavily to breathe some life into it. But yeah, so just beware of Mercari prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I stick to food on eBay, but I won't do anything. I sold out my Pickle Ricks. I've been on the lookout for a while, and when all this stuff happened, I actually found 7 of them. Well, my daughter did. She called me and said, "Dad, I found some Pickle Ricks." So she picked them up for me. Amazon was the go-to for all kinds of books to sell. Yeah. My youngest daughter does have an Amazon account, but we just put books on there. We're just trying to build it up a little bit. We might put some other stuff on later. Still amazed. Still amazing my husband. Yeah. That's actually a good lead in there, Nana. So what's the strangest thing you've sold on eBay or anything, like any platform?
For any of us?
Yeah, good.
Man, mine might be that Mountain Dew cap.
Yeah, that's
I think. I've never tried selling food, though.
Yeah, I would say food. Oh, I sold a sex swing once.
Cool.
Like I was doing like I'm a retired doctor of physical therapies, or like I was doing when I was in school, I was doing a rotation in Boston, and I was living in this like really old apartment, and the rain, like we had a really bad rainstorm and the roof collapsed. And so the next day when we went in, like I was subletting the place, the dude like asked me to go in and just grab whatever I could from his stuff and hang on to it for him. And then when I went to go catch up with him like a month later, he's like, nah, just keep it. And I'm going through it and like one of it's like a sex swing. Like I don't want it. Like, so I just flipped it.
Yeah, cool.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, man. I sell so much weird stuff, to be honest, because if it's in a box, I'm gonna sell it. I mean, that's just what it is. So, like, I mean, I guess for me, just like random household stuff. I've sold all kinds of like cleaners and stuff that I've got from estate sales. I actually, man, recently I picked up. I haven't sold them yet, but I have some adult diapers that I got from an estate sale. Like I put it up. Hey, Matt with part-time pickers.
Yeah. Everything. I was like, that's a part-time pickers move right there.
Yeah.
For me, I've actually done a lot of HBA stuff like health and beauty recently just because of Kmart closing. Like I just sold like some lotions and like random Orajel. I sold Orajel the other day, like just random stuff. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I've sold those Pickle Ricks.
Yeah.
Just random stuff. Like for me, I was trying to think today, like what would be the oddest. I said, honestly, I think a lot of that stuff is odd. Like I think that you can there's a lot of things that I wouldn't think, hey, maybe I should go in there and see if I need some lotion that I can order from eBay. Like I would never think that, let's like stuff like that. I sell water filters all the time or like used stuff. Just random. Let's see.
I think haunted dolls would be funny to get into.
Yeah, dude. My buddy there, I talked him into picking up some dolls from a yard sale that they look like. It's funny, dude. He got a 36-inch Barbie, like from the early 90s. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we met later that day, and we were going to thrift a little bit together. Dude, he's riding around with that 36-inch Barbie in his front seat beside him. Looks like a little kid sitting in there.
Oh my gosh. See, Dan, I got about 183. What? Sorry, I got 183 items listed on my store right now.
Yeah.
And I still got like those 60 Legos, and I got a tub. Like I totally forgot that I had done this huge Nintendo haul. So like I have like 50 NES games that like need to be listed. And it's like I had Double Dragon, Battletoads, like $200 titles. Like I should get those up now.
Dang. And you haven't listed them?
They just fell by the wayside, because like I think I also got into FOMO mode when I first got into part-time reselling. I'm like, oh, I could go to an estate sale. Oh, I can go to this Goodwill. How about this Goodwill? And like then I went on Google Maps and I figured I had 10 within like a 10-mile radius of me. And I was like, oh shit, let's go exploring.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, estate sales are wild, man. You can get some stuff in there that you're like, whoa, is this really going to sell? And it does. Today I sold I don't know if you guys watched my video yet for today, but I sold a tape demagnetizer. So like back in the day, you could erase cassette tapes. If you plug this thing in, it's got a big electromagnet in it, and it'll erase the tape. So that's something they use. I sold that thing for $20. I got it a whole bag full of stuff at state sale for $20. So
Sweet.
Kind of crazy. Man, Sean has said that he sold. This is kind of crazy. An old Valentine, a cat dressed up as a mobster for $50. That's wild, boy.
What?
What if it had the person's same name on it that it sold?
That is a crazy flip.
Sold adult diapers, $250, sold for $39. Sean, you might have the cake, bro.
Bro, his name, Sean.
Was it the same person that bought the Valentine who bought the diapers?
That'd be pretty.
It's a dude thrifty said he was trying to sell a Fortnite Nerf gun, but he couldn't read Hebrew. Some dude in Israel. Well, look, you know what? Actually, I have a way around that is actually using Google Translate. Like I've actually I sold this random beauty salon trolley cart for like $100 that I found at the dumpster. And the lady was speaking Spanish through Facebook Messenger. So I just had to copy and paste it. It's not that great. At first, I thought she was offering to sleep with me for the thing. I confused. What she was saying is her husband's coming to get her to bring her to get the thing. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Wow, vintage book about the game of Clue. Wow, that's sweet, Nana. $95.
That's awesome.
That's crazy, man.
The light.
Adult diapers so well. That's what man, I think it's talking about.
What?
You brought your own guest.
I know. Yo, can I pick you up?
Oh, that cat, man.
She's so feisty.
Very talkative.
Like, no. Let's see. Sold a bobblehead to a woman in Mexico and used Google Translate. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
I have found I've got a buddy who's Hispanic, and I've translated some of his stuff that he posts on Facebook, and I was and it gets kind of crazy though. Sometimes the translations don't come across quite like there are, because I was a couple times I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" But one of those things.
Well, and on the flip, when I'm asking Google Translate to flip my message, are you saying what I need you to say, or are you saying something messed up?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Nana, actually, so if you put in Google, if you need something translate, type translate : semicolon, and then paste whatever the phrase is, and it will automatically detect the language, and then it will lead you to a screen that will convert it to English or whatever the language you desire is.
Yeah, that's cool. So, guys, what about best flip? What have y'all done as far as that? You would consider your best flip. Doesn't necessarily have to be the most profitable, but whatever.
I have to think on that, really. I can think of some of my dad's best. He got a $3 baseball glove that had Mickey Mantle on the inside of it, real vintage old glove, and he sold it for $750. Mickey Mantle apparently didn't endorse a lot of things. Yeah, that's why it was worth so much.
Yeah, Mickey Mantle wouldn't, because most of the memorabilia back then was sponsored by tobacco.
Yeah,
and that's my honest part is so worth money. So they some of those guys didn't endorse that stuff.
That's another thing he got. He got a box of tobacco. They were old baseball tobacco felts. I guess they came with chew or cigarettes or something. And they were baseball players. And he got a huge box full, 20 of them. He paid $4 for. and he sold $3,000 worth of those baseball felts. A few of them went for like hundreds. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, because they were like this big and super lightweight, they were easy to ship. But yeah.
I think mine was a Brunswick pool table. This thing was like a ton, and I sold it back to the dude who I bought it from. I don't know if I bought it on discount or whatever, if he just made double money on me, but the hard part was it was in a basement and the table's like over a ton because it's got like quarter-inch slats. The slates, yeah. So yeah. So I was fortunate to sell it to him because he could just break it apart and get it out of there. So that was nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Mine, so a few videos back, I shared with you guys my best flip. And actually, my buddy that's here in the chat, Ken, the Island Homesteader guy, he was with me on that pick. So he was the guy that was with me. So if you like, I tell the whole story about in that, but those Pokemon cards, man, picking up for 50, selling for 2,500, that is by far like my best flip. Like my second best would be a Russian K3, like 16 millimeter camera. I got at a yard sale for $4. I sold for 300. But those are
sweet. Oh yeah, my best was definitely a hat. It was a John Deere denim vintage hat, and it actually said the name of my hometown, which I cannot, and it's still sold for $215. And my dad, he got it at an estate sale. Nobody wanted it, so they just let him have it.
Either one of you guys cool with trading cards at all? Like,
no, it's something I'd like to get into though.
I currently have 9 booster packs of the Prism NCAA draft picks unopened, and I'm like, do I want to open it? Do I not? Because I could sell them all, and make a decent amount, but it's like scratching a lotto ticket. I've sold a couple of Luca cards, and then I'm sitting on a bunch of like junky 90s like wax baseball cards.
What was that, like Luka Doncic?
Yeah, yep.
Cool.
Yeah, Luka Doncic, and then Ja Morant is a good one. So I mean, like cards are doing really well right now, especially you just got Gary Vee plugging it. He did a video on it like 2 months ago, and anytime like a dude like that talks about it, you see a surge. I think the same thing happened in the reseller community when he was doing his like trash talk show.
Yeah, I unfortunately I grew up in that era where the cards are worth nothing, and those are the ones that I have. It's like when I was a kid, like that's late 80s, early 90s, like cards. I do have some older ones. Like I actually have some old Dr. J cards and stuff, but they're still not like top shelf by any means. So I don't fool cards for the most part because honestly, like there's a couple things I don't really mess a whole lot with. I've sold a little bit of them. Like obviously those Pokemon cards, they're sealed, so I ain't got to worry about, hey, this is because when you get into cards, I feel like a lot of times you get into, okay, so what's the condition? Well, my idea of a condition is maybe way different than what that guy's idea of a condition. So unless it's like graded by somebody, I just honestly I just stay away from it. For me, like I just don't know enough about grading to fool with it. Yeah. But like in packs sealed, yeah. But I saw even the other day that some people have their sealed packs graded. That's weird, but like, that's the way it is.
I did not know that.
It's collectors. Yeah. It's collectors, Like
comic books, like the same. I've got some comic books. Usually, I just sell them in lots unless I find something rare. Because like I don't want to, like it's the same thing. Like people are looking at it saying, well, this has a 3/4 inch like little thing that should be like, I don't, it's tough. That's a tough market unless you really know a lot about it.
Yeah. I mean, like Dan was saying, Bluegrass does well with flipping his cards. He just got smart and bought up a bunch of Patrick Mahomes cards before anybody knew who he was.
Yeah. And I know, like, you know, with the passing of Kobe, I know a lot of his cards resurged and we're selling mega money. But the other thing with that thing is, I feel like card collecting and that stuff is just like the stock market, man. Has such big swings that you're like, man, if you invested a lot of money in those things and then you turn back around and you're in the hole. I mean, like, I thought I would be able to retire on all the basketball cards I had as a kid because that's what everybody was doing. And now you see that it's those things are wallpaper for the most part. Like, there's not any value there.
But, like, you know, I think where the money's at now is all the newer cards.
Yeah.
You know, so
you definitely got to get in the newer era because
prisms are.
What's that?
Is that what those prisms are? Right.
Yeah. So, like, Panini is like probably like Panini is like a big brand, like especially if you go with like Optics. That line is premium, and if you pull, like, there are all sorts of different things that they call them as far as like unique, you know, prints. Like, they'll have cracked ice, like parallels, laser reflective, and then they'll have like pieces of their jersey now, their uniform with it, you know, and then autographs, and then, you know, aside from those, then you hope for like some of the misprints that might surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen Lonnie shed flips a few times, like him having those cards that he got from that guy that has pieces of memorabilia and stuff in it. Like, I mean, that's definitely way different than what I dealt with. Unfortunately, what I see out there that you're able to pick up, like garage sales and stuff, is the trash. Like, it's the 80s, 90s mass production card stuff. I don't think they're producing as many either as what they used to. Like, man, they were cranking them things out. Because, you know,
well, I mean, that's why they have such like a big black market. Just like, you know, people calling out like when these cards are dropping, just like sneakers.
Yeah,
and that's like another concept is like all the people who are into sneakers, all the kids who are into sneakers. Those sneakerheads have now taken their money and they're interested in basketball cards or sports cards. And that's where all the money's going. So it's like just following these kids and where they're taking their money.
I wonder this year if they're going to produce ESP, like the video game competitions that they got on the ESPN right now because there's no sports. Like, here's your favorite NBA gamer. Like, that'll be the next thing. I was like, the NBA guys, instead of playing basketball, they're playing each other in 2K. It's kind of crazy. Autos. What is that? Autos are the best to get, but a box may have 6 cards. Whoa.
Yep.
They really do seem like lottery tickets.
Yeah.
I wonder those Pokemon cards that you flipped, Eric. Like, I wonder how bad they itch to.
No, that dude totally opened them.
What?
He actually sells on eBay. I didn't tell him I had a channel because I wanted to make sure that content got out long after he was satisfied. But he's looking for. There's a card in that series that's worth over $1,000 by itself.
Oh wow!
So he put up that sealed box, and then there was 17 loose packs that he got. So within that, I'm sure he at least opened the 17 loose, but he flips cards too. But when you look on his eBay site, it's mostly like the open ones and graded. Really? So all he does is sell Pokemon cards. So he's an older guy too. It's funny because he's like, man, he said, when you get older, I talked to him, chatted at him for a while. He actually lives here in North Carolina as well. So I was stoked to hear that because with the shipping, that was a thing that had me concerned.
Yeah.
That thing was packed in there with pillows, man. I was like, do not crush that glaze. Like, yeah.
Memory foam pillows, the nice ones.
Dude, that was definitely a double boxer. And I had put, like, it's sitting in there on a cloud, you know, that inner box. But Yeah, I know that he was going to open them though, because like I said, everything on his eBay store, like I went and checked him out, and everything on there was open, like just individual cards.
That's cool.
So the other thing, I didn't ask that guy, but I don't know if you guys have seen. Like I just started researching it because once I got the Pokemon thing, I was like, I know nothing about Pokemon. I remember when everybody's running around with their phone trying to catch them, but I don't really know a bunch about it. So I started researching about that before we even listed it. And so I was watching guys on YouTube who have like millions of views, and all they're doing is ripping open those boxes and showing the cards that are coming out of it. And they have like hundreds of thousands of views on each one when they put it in. So it's crazy. But
yeah, and I'm curious.
Playing the lottery, people will watch people play the slot machine on
yeah.
That's funny.
Well, she look at Mr. Beast, man. Spend all that money on those cards, like lottery tickets, and just sit there and scratched them for like an hour on a video. Kind of crazy.
I'm curious if like the Pokemon card values have dropped though since like all this stuff has happened, because I was watching Magic cards for a while, and they were going up in value, and because you can't play in person and they have a digital card line, the physical cards dropped in value.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
When we sold that, like actually when we went over there to pick that day, they were already talking about shutting down our county. But like I said, I'm sure that guy's holding those things like the stock market, like those that I sold him were the Neo Genesis, like the original Japanese set. So that's what he was. I guess that's the original. I don't know for sure, but I know it's like 1999. It's when they were made. So I don't know. I wish I knew more about some of that stuff.
Cool.
Like I said, the card stuff, I definitely will keep an eye out for that stuff from now on. Like especially sealed cases or packs.
It's tough, dude, because like if you don't really understand those games, like I tried getting into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I have 2 boxes, and I have like one of the cards that you can get is like Blue-Eyed White Dragon. Like everybody likes those. If they're in great condition, you probably get like $10-12 a card. But then like I have one that should have gone for like a few hundred, but because it's you can't play it in a game anymore because regulations and rules change every year, it's a useless card.
Yeah.
I tried Magic the Gathering. I got like a box of them they were only $15, and I had a buddy in college who knew about them, so I just Snapchatted him live. I was like, "Is this one any good? Is this one any good? Is this one any good?" And I think I got a bunch of commons, but I mean, I can make my money back. Just no home runs or anything, so that's all right.
So you see what Nana's talking about though, like, and I've heard about this too. Like they're actually doing Zoom rooms and stuff with those guys and YouTube channels where they're going live and playing Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I've heard that our local like comic / card / video game shop, he's actually hosting stuff like that online right now through his Facebook.
It's pretty neat, actually.
Learning about Magic cards, interesting. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't know enough about that stuff. And honestly, for me to be straight up, like it's not something that really interests me at all. So, like, if it's something that's going to require a lot of study to figure it out, I'm probably not going to do that. If I hit a sweet deal like that, if that guy had never said that, hey, I think these things are worth over $1,000, I probably would have never even looked at them, to be honest. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, but
yeah, my dad was at that auction, and they had a huge lot of Pokemon cards, and my dad told me they were sealed, and he said I couldn't believe they went for like $600. But then I saw the dude, and 2 weeks later, and he said he sold them all for $3,000. I was like, well, you missed out on that one, didn't you, Dad? He's like, I don't want to bid no $600 on a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but it's also one of those things you don't know till you know.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why I scan everything most of the time. But like I said, that dude had those things sitting behind the counter, and he pulled them out. Said somebody else had already come in and bought some. So I was like, man, yeah. When my buddy Ken scanned that one pack, and it said like the comps were anywhere from $40 to $60 for one pack. I was like, there's 60 sitting in that box, and it's sealed.
Yeah, you were like,
yeah, dude. That's when you start getting that little nervous energy. You're like, show us something else, so I don't pee on myself right here. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, what Justin said there, he's a big Magic player. Yeah, he's one of my friends, and I'll run some of my Magic questions by him there, and that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to build up a deck pennies to the dollar, so they can slay people once the door you play again.
Yeah.
Well, I did talk to the guy with the Pokemon, because we actually chatted quite a bit even after he got the cards, because he was stoked about it, and he was like, dude, if you run up on any Pokemon stuff, just give me a holler. So yeah, I was like, at least now I've got the phone a friend for for Pokemon. Ken, that's awesome, bro.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
300 mark for the day. Haven't listed anything. Wow. He's just hit some serious video game scores. So he's been listing N64 games past few days.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, what's a platform you guys would avoid that you guys had? Like, Eric's tried a bunch, so I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Platform?
Yeah.
Poshmark, man. I just not. I'm not down with the sharing, and I'm not too hip on clothes. So
yeah.
For me, honestly, the only clothes I care about, like what I'm wearing, is shoes. Outside of that, dude, I wear like I don't care. You know, I mean, one of them things that my age and my style has always been like used to. I was the basketball shorts t-shirt guy, so like I don't really, you know, I don't know enough about clothes. I also sell hats and shoes mostly, and if I find vintage Harley shirts or any kind of that kind of stuff. But Poshmark, I tried it, and just the sharing is frustrating. You got 1,000 people following you, nobody's buying nothing. That's my experience. Maybe somebody else put you down.
How about you, Jake?
Yeah, maybe probably Poshmark, and definitely like I'm not gonna list on Craigslist because Facebook just destroys that, you know. I don't even think that's even in the topic anymore, Craigslist, except for like trouble.
I mean, I wonder if you can still source, free stuff from there.
I think you kind of can, yeah.
Dude, my buddy just scored some video game stuff off Craigslist.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Because even my yard sale treasure map, it'll pull up Craigslist listings.
Yep, that's what they use.
Mm-hmm. Craigslist is weird around here. Like, it won't even call out our hometown. It says like West Central, or it just says like Central Illinois, and it'll show me stuff from 2 hours away. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really understand it.
That's wild.
It's funny. We have OBX Craigslist, like Outer Banks Craigslist, but then if you go inland from us a little bit, it just says Eastern North Carolina. It could be for anywhere from my house to Raleigh. So it's like 2.5 hour span. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything east of Raleigh is considered Eastern North Carolina.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think Posh is my least favorite. The first time I joined, I was like, who are these people? Oh, I'm famous. They must really like my shoes. Wait, what the hell is happening? Why is everybody like
Yeah, dude. I never figured it out, man. I mean, there are people that kill it, like what is that? Becky Park from Poshmark or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I know they kill it, but
she's out of Illinois too, and she's like a music teacher.
Yeah. But from what I hear is once you kind of get the ball rolling and you have some sales, then it starts rolling. But honestly, I don't know many dudes who are into Poshmark. Like, to be honest, like most of the guys I see yeah. I mean, unless they've got like a wife who's really into the reselling thing and like picking, because unless you're like real savvy as far as clothing. Like that is, I don't know anything about women's clothes, man. I mean, and how to measure and what, I just, yeah.
My girlfriend was a manager for Old Navy, so she knows clothes pretty well. But I mean, I don't know. She doesn't have a huge interest in reselling. She'll let me resell stuff for her, so that's cool.
Yeah. Pasha's letting you sell housewares is what Nana's talking about.
Yeah. I've seen people sell other things besides clothes, but I think the hard, I've seen, as far as like the guys, only guys selling, I've seen Rinzy. Do you know what Rinzy is? They're like,
the shoe guys.
Yeah. So the husband and wife couple, they sell like 6 figures in shoes. Like I think their primary platforms are Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, and Poshmark.
Yeah.
But some of those guys who are bigger, they have some sort of like virtual assistant helping them share their listings constantly.
Yeah.
Even Becky Poshmark was paying her students like some money after school to like help her share some of her stuff because she's got kids and stuff. She can't.
Right.
She can't share all that. And so I think it's a lot more labor intensive.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's other ways to drive traffic. Like you could get, like, I mean, if you had a bigger audience, like obviously look at like Rally Roots and those guys. I mean, they're selling tons of stuff off Instagram, just because they've got a mass amount of traffic that they're driving to it. Yeah. So I think that's really Poshmark, like you're just driving traffic. But I also feel like it's kind of, for me, it's more like the way people used to go to people's house and sell stuff, kind of like the way Lula Road, that kind of stuff works, Mary Kay. Like once you kind of got a group of people that are shopping your stuff, like those people are going to continue to shop your stuff and then tell other people about it as well. I think that's
no doubt. Like I've seen chicks, their entire closet is what they wear, and they have an Instagram based on it. And they're like, if you are not my size, you're not my measurements, and you're not my style, don't look on my store. Like I don't offer that.
Yeah.
This is what I have it, but she kills it.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, and saying that Renzi are my heroes.
They're great.
But then she also says that they also price their things well. And that's half the battle too, man. I mean, like I know if you search like I do, a lot of times I search 2 things when I'm looking for items. I search price and I search how quick are you going to get it to me. And those 2 are a lot of the deciding factor. And then I look at the details, make sure you're not selling me a box or parts or something like that. Yeah. It's definitely one of those things.
Well, some nice things I've learned from them too is how they model their budget. Like for a while I was just like, okay, I got $500 for the month. This is what I'm spending it on, and then when I make it back, I'm just going to keep, rinsing, repeating that $500. And I was just like, I had no rhyme or reason to like some of the stuff I was buying. Oh, that seems like a good price. So I would be buying shoes sometimes like paying up for them. Whereas they would like buy 10 pairs of shoes, but they're shooting for an average buy cost. So I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense, and that kind of helped me justify, buying a more expensive line of shoes. Let's say like, they had a pair of Cole Haans there, and I could balance that out with like maybe a kid's pair of Jordans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of those things. For me, I mean, that is smart, the average buy. Like for me, I mean, I've told you guys, and maybe I'll ask you guys the same question. I mean, do you have a margin that you're looking at when you're buying stuff? Like, where do you want to be as far as how much you want to have invested percentage wise with what you can get? Or do you have an idea on that?
I basically, so I try to, like, as far as shoes goes, like I always try and keep it under $8 per shoe that I buy. Because in my mind, even if I sell it for $15-$20, I'm making like $8 per shoe. So, I'm doubling my money on it. Because I typically won't offer free shipping or anything like that. So it's things like that. Same thing for video games. If I'm like paying more than 50 cents, like for some NES games, if I'm paying $5, that's like what they're going for, especially for some of the shovelware titles. So if I can't really pick up a title for less than 50 cents, I really try not to bother with it.
Yeah.
I don't really mess with clothes, and then certain things like with the Legos, that's kind of what was driving the math. Okay, how many is he giving me? What's the total price? Okay, can I keep that under $10 per Lego set? Because I know him and knowing his stuff. Like if I can sell it for $20, and I got 60 sets, I'm looking at like $1,200 in profit there. So like 500 for 12, like even if I sold it at such a low price, I think I'm making money. So I'm trying to always like 2-3x my money if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much want to triple it because I don't really want to pay. I mean, I'd be all right with paying 50 for something and selling it for 100, but not on eBay. You know what I mean? Because you're probably making closer to 80, and you got to take all the time to list it and everything.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting it for 25 and selling it for 100, I'm good with that.
Depending on how big the item is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're picking it up 50, you've got 30 in cost beyond what. Yeah,
well, that's what it was for those Nintendo Switches, right? I'm like making less than maybe 5%, 2% returns on each like bundle that I'm selling. I'm like, for $900 up front, I'm like, why don't I just play the stock market? I can just put it, if I don't care about $900 and I just want minimal returns, I'll just put it on something safe, a stock market. But like, I want penny stock returns, But the nice thing is like, when I'm buying something that's like, $8 or whatever, let's say in that lot of Legos, if like a couple of them don't work out, it's not a big deal. It's not a total loss like the stock market too. So,
yeah, I'm always like, I actually have, I like to keep my cost of goods under 20%, to be honest, across the board. Like if I was to take everything, that's kind of where I want to be average. But sometimes in the buy, it depends on where you're buying. For me, like when I'm going to buy a big lot of stuff, what I'm doing honestly is I'm looking for a couple things that are going to pay for everything else. And then like when I went and bought a bunch of game systems. So I'm looking, dude, there's 15 Wii's stacked up there. And the guy's originally he's asking $550. We worked down to $350. But I'm like, I know I've got $350. I'm going to make more than that just with those Wii's. And now I've got everything else. Even like taking into consideration, maybe a third of those guys don't work. Like I don't know, because it's all untested. So I do that as well. Like I'm looking for something to pay for everything else because then everything's profit. But if I'm picking up single items, it just depends on the return. Like you're saying, if I could make $100 on something, dude, I might pay up for that. I might get up to more like the 30-40% at least. And then it depends on how heavy the item is, like how much is it going to cost me to ship. Because pretty much my eBay fees and shipping run about 20 to 30% or 25 to 30%. That's about where I'm at. Yeah. So with shipping costs. So for me, that's what I think. But guys, I think we're about at the hour and a half mark, which is kind of But guys, we do appreciate you for coming and hanging out with us. And we're going to be back again next week. This will be our normal time in the foreseeable future. So, man, we do thank you guys.
Everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Guys, I'm just going to cut the broadcast, the live feed, and we can talk for a second if y'all want.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hit the like button.